muting the मैं पूरा इसको लॉक कर रहा हूँ मीटिंग को. Please switch on the camera. Vikas sir has joined us. मी सांगितलं. Hello Vikas sir, can you hear me? Is my audio clear?
Hello. Yeah.
Hi sir. How are you doing, sir?
Fine. Good evening,
Fine.
everybody.
So I will just we'll just begin with the event. So, sir, are you saying anything?
No. I said good evening, everybody.
Good evening. So, good evening, guys. Dr. Vikas Mahatme, sir. Like, I have reading about him since my childhood. Like, like bachpan se, there are people who really inspire you. And I used to see him in Nagpur. I used to see him working. I used to read articles about him. But I happened. So, one time, guys, please mute yourself.
Hello.
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you. Baki, except for Vikas sir, guys, everyone, please just mute yourself. So one fine day during Mayor Innovation Award, like I shared the stage with him, and that was like the honor. I couldn't sadly interact with him that day, but that was something I will cherish forever in my life. And few days ago, I met him for some particular reason, and then there was this idea that we should do something for our young generation because we are so enthusiastic. So we thought of doing something for you all, and so that is the main reason why today we are doing this webinar with you all. So to basically, because we all know that we are going through tough time, lockdown actually hitting everyone hard. That's why we are thinking to do something for you guys so that you guys can gain insights about it. You guys can answer your questions to him. You guys can ask your questions to him, and all the other reason. For this reason, we are doing this webinar. So, Vikas sir, I would like to thank you firstly for taking your time out from this busy schedule. It means really we would really like to thank you for joining us.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Can you see me and hear me? Yes. You can show the thumb, so it's audible. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Siddhartha, for arranging this as well as.
Can you guys hear me?
All. Yeah. Can you hear?
Please say yes. Is my video lagging?
Can you see?
मेरा video clear आ रहा है क्या?
हाँ. Is it okay? Is it audible?
That's true,
we have to struggle with everything. That is
yes,
fine.
Sir.
So, friends, it's a good opportunity to talk with the young people like you. And the topic is, I shall like to share the slides. So, I shall share the screen.
So you can share it. You can share the screen from your device itself.
Okay, can you see the screen now?
Not yet, sir.
Here, okay.
First 100 lakhs enter country भेटते आणि पहिले किती होती पण मी
Can you see the screen now? Can you see the screen now? Hello, Siddhartha?
Yes, sir, I can see the screen.
Okay, fine. Can you see, are you able to read this Corona and Youth?
इकडे एका ठिकाणी करून ठेवा. तू तुझा फोन नको वापरू का? फोनवर फक्त हे चालू राहील. मीडिया ऑफ, ऑडिओ ऑफ करून.
Yes, sir, we can read.
Yeah. Thank you. So, actually, whenever I talk with young people, I get it. But today the topic is emotion, fear. Means what will happen if I get corona or COVID disease? If my mother or father gets COVID-19, my father is diabetic. He may get the COVID, and ultimately the worst thing can happen with my father or mother. Is how our mind thinks whenever uncertainty is there. And this uncertainty creates fear in our mind. And once the fear is there, the challenge is we are not able to think properly. And the decisions that are made under fear may not be correct, may not take us towards our goal. So that is why, first thing to when we say uncertainty, we should try to resolve this challenge of uncertainty. How to do this? That is a major question. And for that, I shall like to tell you that we have to concentrate on invisible health. As Siddhartha has already told you, that I am a specialist. Means I always work to give vision to the patients. And I'm now talking about invisible thing. And it's true that whatever is invisible is very powerful. Just for example, I shall like to tell you, air is invisible but very powerful. Electricity, atomic energy, all types of energies, they are invisible. Many types of energies are invisible but still very powerful. Similarly, whenever I say health, usually people think of physical health. But now we should think of not only physical but mental health also. WHO definition, if you see, it is physical, mental, and social well-being. So mental part, it starts with actually mental, physical, and social well-being. So mental part is very important. When we say mental health, usually we feel that I don't have any mental illness like schizophrenia, mania, or something. Yes, you may not have those diseases, but everybody, all the people in the world will have a distress situation. Distress means what? You feel discomfort with the situation. You don't know how to deal with that, and that is the distress. Like depression. To start with, you will not feel like doing anything. And gradually the frequency, intensity, and duration of this goes on increases until depression is there, and then even it can go to the suicide. So there is a spectrum: normal mental health, distress, and then it goes to disease. So in invisible health, we have to have a strong mind, and how to do that is very important. And that's why we have to concentrate on this invisible health or mental health to achieve safety and work balance. Whenever fear is there, usually what happens, two things can happen. One is we are afraid of the corona so much that we will not do anything. We'll say, no, what will happen to my mother, father, or something. And we may not go out, and we not only not going out, but we will not do daily activities. So this shouldn't happen. We have to balance it. And that's why we have to be safe as well as we have to be active. Both the things. Active doesn't mean you have to go out. Inside you feel very enthusiastic, and what you do you always think about. So safety measures are necessary. We have to be safe as well as we have to be active. Both the things. active doesn't mean you have to go out. So this is the balance between the two we have to follow, and what should be how to achieve this. My echo is there now. Is it okay? It's okay now. Now, 2-3 things I will like to explain about the what you can say the health as a whole. Whenever Corona is there, everybody feels that he may get Corona. He has high chances of getting Corona. He will definitely get the Corona or COVID disease, and death is probable. So death may be there. So he is afraid of. And then he tells everybody that okay, that you take this medicine or this hot water with garlic or Ayurvedic medicine or with chloroquine, and now you will be foolproof. Something like that. But it's not true, really. Health is a science of probability. I shall explain you what is that probability. One of my niece, she was in engineering college and she purchased a small vehicle because her father gave her the vehicle, two-wheeler. And with that two-wheeler, she used to ride it very fast. Her name was Pallavi. And she used to ride it very fast. I told her, you should drive slowly so that accidents will not happen. I told her 2-3 times, but ultimately she said one day, Mama, you tell me every time that you should drive slowly. But do you know our uncle, Agashi uncle? I said, yes, he drives at the speed of 30-35 only. She said, he met with an accident. Agashi met with an accident and he is no more. I am driving with a speed of 80-90, but still last 2 years I had done no accident. Not a single accident has happened. So what should I tell her now? She is saying last 2 years I had met with not a single accident. What should I tell her now? Drive speedily, drive whatever you feel like, or drive slowly. Answer is, I shall explain you. If I drive by two-wheeler bike from Nagpur to Mumbai with a speed of 130 kilometers per hour, and 100 vehicles drive on the road. At the same time, 100 vehicles with 130 kilometers per hour speed, what will happen? 8 accidents occur. On the same road with same conditions, suppose they drive with a speed of 80 kilometers per hour, only 2 accidents happen. So that is the difference between the two. So if you go by 80 speed, it doesn't mean that accidents will not happen. Probability of accidents becomes less. So that we have to understand. And that's why this, if we understand, then we will understand about health. When we say you have to wear the mask, you should wash your hands, you should keep a distance. People will say, no, I have not put on the mask. I went to one of the parties. There were so many people. I didn't get the corona disease, COVID disease. So you can also go. There is no problem. Don't be afraid of. घबराओ मत, बिल्कुल होता ही नहीं है. मैं गया था, कुछ नहीं हुआ था. No. What we are doing with mask, keeping distance, with washing the hands, we are decreasing the probability of getting corona disease, COVID disease. We are decreasing the probability. It doesn't mean it gives guarantee, but probability will be less. So once you understand this, everything, people tell me, why are you drinking always this clean water, safe water, or filtered water? Still you get the problem, stomach problem and all these problems. I told them, yes, but the probability of getting the diseases, waterborne diseases, is less if you use filtered water. So this is about probability. Another concept about health which we should understand, that many people will tell you, and if I tell you a previous experience, few years back, there was what happened. This is a real thing which has happened. It has nothing to do with a religion, really. Ganpati Bhagwan, you know, and thousands of people gave Ganpati milk because it was, they thought that Ganpati is drinking the milk. गणपति भगवान दूध पी रहे हैं ऐसा उनको लगता था. एक ही दिन में thousands of people tried to feed the Ganpati with milk. तो सबने ऑफर किया, everybody said that no, जो भी मूर्ति है वो भगवान की, वो दूध पी रही है. And more than 1 crore people, not only in India, it was outside country also. They have tried, and their experience was that all the murti which is there is drinking the milk. So ye experience tha. And afterwards scientists told that a single scientist told that it is a capillary action by which the milk is going. So one scientist and more than 1 crore people. Who was correct? Scientist was correct. So it is not means by majority. Majority doesn't count here in science. And experience also, yeah, their experience means whatever they saw was correct, but the interpretation was totally wrong. So that is the difference between what you see and its interpretation was wrong. So this is the difference between experience, and that we should understand. It was a simple capillary action which people couldn't understand. More than 1 crore couldn't understand. And so we cannot say that there is the experience of 100 people, so I am also doing that. Unless and until we have evidence. Evidence is scientific study, whether that drug is useful or not. That has to be studied scientifically. And then only we accept that. That we have to understand. Otherwise, it creates a confusion. Now also, there were many drugs which said that they will cure the corona. But then everybody says that there is no scientific evidence, only by experience we are telling you that it cures the corona or it decreases the chances of corona. That is there. So we have to take it that way. So how to use this in practice? This is very important. If anybody says that you take pada of this or that, you can take that because it will not have any side effects because it's a natural product. But you will not be able to take it for months together because we do not know long-term problems. But you can take it once in a while because it itself doesn't create a problem. Because we know that even if it is incorrect, we may try it. It will not harm at least. So as far as drugs are concerned, definitely we need an evidence. So this was all about health, and this was very important so that we understand the concepts of the treatment, prevention, concept. Because many people will have their own experiences, many people will have their own thoughts and processes. So we will be able to tell, no, unless and until it's a scientific, we will not observe it or we will not take it seriously. Though converting this pandemic into opportunity is really the most important thing because it's not a short duration thing. And how to convert this pandemic into opportunity, that we will discuss now. What can youth will be able to do during this period? That is very important. And the answer is very simple. Whenever you are inside the house, what is the most important thing which you can do is the reflection. So what are your goals and how to achieve those goals? Do you need education or skills for that. If those are needed, how will you upskill yourself? These are the very important parts in life, which we are not able to get time to think about this. So this is very necessary. Skills are different from the education, and skills are necessary, especially the life skills. So goals may be very broad. You may not have very long-term goals, very fixed goals, but very broad goals. But for that goal also, you can chalk down what are the skills required, what is the education needed, so you will be able to focus on that and work on that. What about relationship? Relationship is very, very important part. And whenever I say relationship, mostly young people will say about corporate relationship and relationship in the profession, something like that. But what I feel as a doctor is the relationship inside the house, relationship with your brothers, sisters, relationship with your father, mother, relationship with your grandmother, grandmothers. That is very important. That is the most important thing. Usually, girls are very attached to the family, so they have good relationship. But even if it is not, they should and invest time for this. And this is the opportunity because we are not going out to a great extent to we can share the time with family and we can have a good relationship. You have to share your views with the family members, share time with them. Ultimately, that will give a bonding with the father, mother, and brother, sisters. So that relationship you can build now. As far as profession is concerned, creativity and innovation is the most important thing. Many things can be done, but the mindset for that has to be prepared. That mindset is openness, open mind. And that is very important, what I feel. And then what can you do for managing yourself in the given circumstances? What are your goals and what can be done? We will discuss out the questions. So this धोखा है कोरोना ये बहुत बड़ी थ्रेट है बहुत बड़ा तो धोखा को हम मौका में कैसे कन्वर्ट करें how can we convert this into an opportunity and that is the skill we needed and this will help throughout the life that whenever you feel like it's a threat gradually will come up and you will say it was a great opportunity it was a great opportunity मैंने एक व्हाट्सएप पे एक कविता सुनी थी मैं आपको वो आपके साथ वो शेयर करना चाहता हूँ अभी वो आप सुन आपने भी देखा होगा वो वीडियो भी घर में बंद हूँ लेकिन मैं कुछ पहले से आजाद हूँ नजरें कैद हैं चार दीवारी पर नए नजरिए से आबाद कुछ मिक्स इमोशन वाली लगती लाइफ आजकल पिक्चर लॉकडाउन तुझको समझा टॉर्चर निकला तो टीचर हाँ तो लॉकडाउन हम सब समझ रहे थे इट वाज अ टॉर्चर बट नाउ it appears to be a good teacher also. So that is all about.
Yes, sir. You can stop the screen share now so that we can have a larger picture.
Yes.
So the points which you make are really very valid and relevant in today's, like what we are facing right now. And you told very importantly, like skills are different. Are important for this generation to learn as well. And you are into a social activist. Now, what you are doing is tremendously incredible, what we all aim for, because our education is something that which teaches us to do like these kind of things. So if you can just enlighten us with your journey as a social activist, like everyone would love to hear about that as well.
It's difficult, but definitely I shall share my experiences because I think that will tell how to go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, I was a lecturer in government medical college. That was a temporary job.
Okay.
And I had an inclination that I should do some community service. That is inclination. That was inclination. And in government colleges, free camps, etc., used to happen, and so I used to enjoy that. And as a lecturer, that time the post used to be very good because anybody who had a problem, then he may be MLA, MP, or anybody, he come to government colleges, medical colleges. Those were the days because then outside there were not very good private practitioners. So that was the thing. So I wanted to be a lecturer and continue to be lecturer, but my job was temporary. And on one day, actually, MPC selected candidate came, and so on single day I was out and the candidate was in. She was in. So I became a berozgar in one day. But that was a turning point because that was a dhoka which I tried to convert in MOKA, and I could do that. But many times I have failed. That I am not sharing with you, I tell you frankly. Because you will say that every time I am always successful. I failed 10 times. And those things, if you ask me, I shall share that also. But now I am sharing what are my successes. So I thought that, what should I do? And now then I decided that I should start my own private practice. But I had the cult of a community service. Then I thought that I should have, because there were private practitioners. Why the patients will come to me? I was very young. Then I thought for a time, what can be there which is not existing in this Vidarbha area. Vidarbha means Maharashtra's part 11, 13 village, districts. So in that area, what is not existing service which can be provided by an eye specialist, so that patients will have, for that also, at least they will have to come to me. So I needed some creativity on this aspect. So I tried, I scanned which are the services which I can offer, but they are not available in this area at least. So then I came to know that, of course, during learning, I could get it easily because I was in that field only. It was an iBank. iBank was not existing at all. Yes. So I thought that I should start with an iBank. When I floated this to everybody said, no, it's not a good idea. Because one thing, iBank will not give you any money. Because iBank donations are totally free and everything is free. But I was an expert in cornea transplant. So I thought, then they said another thing which bothered me also. They said that you will have to be on call 24 hours. Because whenever there is a call, you have to go and attend it. And then only you will be able to take out the eyes or the cornea. Then I said, but okay, we will find now. At least I have ample time. So I shall be most of the time in Nagpur. And then one of my friends, he was there with me. So I told, if I go out, he will be able to manage. But he said, of course, for some days or some months, he will be able to provide me the services. But I think that was the good thing, that with that threat also I started. I said, if I fail, I shall stop it. That's all. So ultimately, you have to consider all factors. CAF is important. That is a thinking skill. Consider all factors. Then consequences and sequelae, C and S. That is a thinking skill that was applied there. Consider all factors. What is the risk? and I need something which is not existing in that area. Because competition is, I have to exclude the competition. That is very important. Whenever you start something different and better, that was my sentence which I used to say with myself. I had to be different and better. So I started with the eye bank and eye hospital. Then I started with the camps on Sunday. And it was a free camp, but it was a checkup only because I couldn't do anything because I don't have money to a great extent. So I started my room in my house only, which had 3 rooms. One of that room was converted into clinic, and I used to operate in somebody else's hospital. So that way we started, and now we have hospital in Nagpur, teaching training. Post-graduation is there, DNB, MS, like Master of Surgery, like DNB is there. Paramedical 10th and 12th pass also we are training them. We have nearly 100 people working with us, with me. Then we have a branch in Mumbai, Armory in Gadchiroli and Amravati. So gradually everything, but the base was this. It's something different and better. And a team building. So all this gradually happened. But of course, the thinking skill, emotional management skill, you have many problems and failures, how to face those failures. So what I feel life skills contain that emotional management, thinking skill, empathy. There are so many other things, but most important is the emotional management and thinking skill.
That's so true, sir. That's so true. And also, you told that like you are not really speaking about failures, but what you mentioned is you have failed many a times, but still you had the courage to restart the things, analyze the things holistically, and to get to like overcome your failures and achieve that. That's the most important thing that we should learn as youngsters from you. Because like I'll tell you, like Padma Shri, like you have been conferred with Padma Shri as well.
Yeah.
Like I could have easily, if you could have thought that यार नहीं छोड़ देते ना सब कुछ ये सब करके क्या होगा, you might have never achieved this thing.
Yeah.
So what was your like? We all are excited to know about this state also. Like that, there might be a moment when you know that okay, I will be conferred with Padma Shri. That email, that one phone call which you received. How was your feeling? What was your feeling at that time?
Yeah, of course, everybody feels very good, and you are very happy. Everybody in the family, the friends. Of course, it's good.
That's good.
That is very important. We should celebrate our achievements. Otherwise, what happens? You do not get energy to face the failures.
Exactly.
At that time, you have to remember those things. That you have performed well during that period. So now, even if it fails, okay, I shall try again.
That's
the energy is when you share with somebody.
That's true. That's true.
It's not that you keep it with you only. When you share with people that achievement, it gives you more energy, and that energy allows you to face the failures afterwards. Even after 1 year, if you remember those things which you did exclusively, nobody else has done in the vicinity, then you always feel something you are different. Everybody is unique.
That's true.
And
That's
everybody has done small thing at least differently than others.
That's true.
So if you remember those things, you can go forward. That is the only thing which you have to. And secondly, always with this, you have to remember. If you are very, very happy, you tend to forget. But you shouldn't forget it. That it is not a single person because of whom this is possible.
That's
it's a team.
That's
and then you have to distribute that to everybody, this happiness. So you meet those because of whom you have come up to that stage. Because of colleagues, which you have to meet them. You have to share with your views, and because of you, I am there. Those who were working in my hospital, I have to tell them that because of you, this was possible. Because ultimately, I operated many cases, but it was the team support.
That's true.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's not me alone. So
exactly.
it was the number of surgeries and the model which I had that we operate nearly 50%
Exactly.
free of cost and 50%. So that model. But it's a team. Those are nearly 100 people because of whom this is possible. So happiness is definitely there, but it shouldn't take you to that level that you should feel you are the only person. It's a team effort. It's because of teachers, because of so many other colleagues who guided me so many times. And secondly, I had to store it also to use it when I fail.
Hmm.
So that is
Definitely. Definitely. And you told it's all about the team at the end of the day. And that is also one thing you all should understand, because in being a student, we are so involved in this competition thing, na sir, like subject competition. We really forget that at the end of the day, we all belong to one same community. And if we all are together, if we all help each other in difficult times, we will have a larger family at the end of the day. We can have eventually a bigger pie of bigger piece of pie at the end of the day. That's a very important point, sir. So as you know that today the competition level is like hyper competitive. Everyone is too focused in this thing. So like what will be one message, like people are focusing on NEET, AIM, NEET, JEE, different things. But many of the students do take this out of societal pressure. How would you encourage them to balance the things and deal with the society as well at the same time?
it's a good question because now the environment is that everybody feels the competition is the life. It's not true at all. It's totally wrong. I say totally wrong. Because of the environment, we feel like that. But in life, it's totally different. I tell you, when your goal is there, you make a goal which is mostly not competitive. Mostly the goals are I shall be top in this NEET exam or I shall achieve. But instead of that, you can say I shall achieve this much percentage. That is better because then you do not compete as far as goal is concerned. Because when you say that I want to be the first, you always feel. I tell you, when I was in third standard, the grade was means that time ranking was there. So my ranking came as on 18th. And I used to be first, so I felt very bad. But on the next examination, it was a trimester examination every time. The next examination, I used to pray to the God that I should be the first, and the girl which got first, she should be 18th. And sometimes I used to feel that she should feel ill, I should fall ill, or some illness should be there so that she will not be able to appear in the exam. That was my in third standard. So in those days also, young age also, or the school going for second, third, the competition creates an environment which is not healthy afterwards. You cannot grow with those emotions afterwards.
That's true.
So when you say first, the things will come that others should not study. They should not have this much. I shall not like to share my views with them. Otherwise, they will get good marks. So make it more non-competitive goal. I shall be able to achieve this much. Because afterwards in life, there is no competition, and I always tell something different and better. You always think of having your goals afterward. But in examination, I shall definitely say what happens. Ultimately, I cannot change the environment or the examination pattern. Or I shall, afterwards, if I happen to, I may change. But now today, at least, everybody will have to take that exam. In that exam, the goal should be like this. And competition by itself, afterwards in the life, after the examination, doesn't help you. So make the goals like this, that the percentage, and that's why nowadays they give the grades rather than the numbers, ranks. So that is always better.
So I guess we have students from all across India, that is from various states, that have joined us today. But you gave if last question, like I would like to ask you, then you can then students can ask you the questions directly. One message which you want to give us all, that what we should focus on at this moment. One message.
Now Corona period is there. In this period at least, what happens? We should concentrate on the skills which we should embrace, which are necessary. These are the life skills. Creates many problems. Intense anger will create many problems. So that is and how emotions say okay, how to it will give knowledge, but managing anger, converting into a action which is getting you towards your goal, channelizing your anger emotions into a firm decision, like I shall achieve this goal. That should be the way, but that needs a practice. It needs a knowledge, and afterwards it needs a practice. It's I used to feel that I understood why I shouldn't be angry, but it was very difficult to follow. Like if I know that if I read a book of a swimming, and if I then jump in a 20-feet swimming pool, will it be possible to come out again? It will not be.
Not be.
Because it's a skill. Similarly, managing emotions is a skill. And on that, you have to work. You have to give time. It's not that reading books will definitely, that will give you knowledge and wisdom. But ultimately, you have to practice. And practice needs some time. And this is the appropriate time. Thinking skills. Then comes the empathy, and so many other things are there which are enumerated. 10 life skills are enumerated by WHO, which you can imbibe. And that will be helpful all over. Even communication, family communication, how to have a teamwork. Many people are very, very intelligent, but intelligent doesn't mean that you are a good team person, good team member. Many times I feel in my hospital that he is an intelligent, but I do not. All other team members will say no. We do not want to be in our team because he is angry every time and he doesn't listen to us. He doesn't follow what we have decided. So ultimately, team is disturbed. So intelligence doesn't mean that you will have all the other things. So nobody will like you to be in the team. So unless and until team is there, the performance will not be very good. So all this can be learned during this phase.
This phase, exactly. That's a very good message. One good, like the very good takeaway from this session. So now I would open this session for the audience. So we have curated the questions. So guys, keep it as short as possible. I will call out your name and then you can ask your question. Swaraj, first, you go keep the question short and ask your question to Sir Swaraj. Swaraj, can you hear us? She is not there, I guess. Do we have Sanika with us? Sanika, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, yes, Sanika. Please go ahead and ask your question to Sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Good evening.
So recently, WHO has said that it's time for people worldwide to accept corona as a part of their lifestyle. So my question to you is that what can be the various ways which we can adopt to achieve equilibrium over this pandemic?
Yeah, it's a very good question. I should appreciate that, because what should be the changes in our lifestyle we should make so that it becomes a part of life. Corona is not going to go away. Swine flu has come, and now also there are cases of swine flu, but the number is very less. And we are able to treat them. We have preventive vaccination. So similarly, Corona is going to remain. That is one has to understand. Then what, as a public health, what should be what every person should do? One thing, most important, it was till today we were speaking about the hygiene and cleanliness. And now it is a hygiene about spitting. Spitting is a very common condition in India. We tried that spitting should be avoided. Even some cities, the fine is there. And we say that tuberculosis and so many other diseases spread with the spitting. But now people have understood well that Corona will take up with the spitting. So now that habit has to be stopped. So anything which is related to respiratory system, mask now at least will be part of our life till we feel that what is the death rate we at the end, that will decide whether we will have to continue with the mask or not. But the mask is the most important. So now cleanliness, especially of the hand cleanliness, is very, very important. And we have understood Namaste is a better for Corona rather than handshake. So that we have to understand. So now people hug each other. In my family, it's okay, but outside, I don't. I say it's not good thing. Even meeting so many, gathering up so many people together. So all we have to change ourselves, and we have changed. Now also we are able to talk with so many young persons like you through video conferencing. So this will change. We have to accept. One is health hygiene, a different way, especially all the respiratory, previously which we were not. Coughing, sneezing is harmful to the other people, should be now incorporated in everybody's brain, and that has to be followed. How to avoid all this. Even I think sneezing in the hands will not be a good gesture. Now they say that it's better to you sneeze like this. That is a better way, because your hands you will be touching so many times, so many. So that is the thing. Secondly, video conference, etc. It's a better option. It saves time. Logistics or expenses are also less. Otherwise, I had to go to some college or institution for a lecture. Now nobody will say that come to the college or an institution. So this is the proper way, and I think we have adopted it, but we have to continue with that.
Perfect. These are really valid points. So I guess we have Swaraj back with us. If you can hear us, Swaraj, we'll give you one shot. Just ask your question in short.
Yes, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Sir actually answered my one of the question. Sir, I would like to ask you, sir, how can today's youth, how can today's student as today's youth be helpful in government in this COVID pandemic to government?
Yeah, it's really a good contribution youth can have in the government. In anything which you feel like your inputs are valuable. Why youth are different from my age? What is the difference is the mindset. You accept any new thing. That is very important, which we will try to have. We will say, no, that is not possible because of this, because that pattern is set in our age. Even I tell you that patterns, what happens, I used to go to medical college by the road. On the same road, when I left my medical college, my vehicle automatically turned on the road of a medical college. Because at subconscious level, I was thinking. So these patterns are set. And in your mind, those patterns are not yet to be set. And that is the greatest advantage, because new ideas will come up. And so in all the government, you can be an intern with the member of parliaments, member of legislative assemblies, so that you can give your inputs to those people. You can give inputs to all the bureaucrats. You can give the projects, and you can say that I can be a volunteer. This is on a larger scale, I'm telling you. But even on a smaller scale, you can start from today only. You can start with a volunteering, because the need is that educated youth are not available for the service to the COVID wards, COVID avoiding COVID. Means there should be awareness program. Same thing, as a volunteer you can work, and once you work as a volunteer, your identity is created, and then your ideas will percolate in the minds of member of legislative assemblies, MPs, etc. So you can start with something which will attract all these big minds, so that you get attached to them, and then your ideas. Because what happens, I tell you, every day the member of parliament, MLA, bureaucrat, city collector, commissioner, they get so many people giving their own ideas. But ideas has to be worked on and to be converted into practice. So it's a long process, and nobody is ready to give time for that. So even if you come up with the idea, I don't think that will be accepted. So this is the way that once you give them a confidence that your oppressive skill means you can perform, then your idea has a weightage. That performance tells others that whatever he is doing is good. So probably what's the idea, he will find a way to work out. That is there. And oppressive is a different skill from all these other skills. It needs a different outlook. I mean, you have to work on it. You have to gain an experience also for that. Operacy is a skill which you can work through in this COVID period.
Really valuable suggestion, sir. So I would also like to tell you guys, if you really have ideas, we have the group, we have the organization, send those ideas to us. Let us work on that idea, and then if we feel those ideas can be worked on, we can definitely pitch to sir our ideas, and he would really be happy to help us. But yeah, that's important. We just do not bombard the ideas, but tell him how to do that. That's really important. Let us work on that thing. So we'll take few more questions. Nandini, if you can hear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I can hear you.
So the question, please ask your question in short.
So my question is, as we see in today's scenario that the exams are postponed, but what about the next year curriculum? That as I'm appearing for NET next year, I get tensed about it.
That is what is, I think, thousands and millions of students are undergoing the same feeling what you are feeling. One thing is that I told in Corona also, it is what we can say that it's a problem of uncertainty. Everything is uncertain. That is the challenge. And then if you work on what are the factors which are in your control and what are the factors which are which are not in your control. Like I tell you, when the examination happen, whether the examination will happen or not, it is not in your control. Somebody else is going to take a decision. What are the factors which are within your control? Whatever may be the situation, you will prepare for both these situations. If the examination is there, then you will do the study as if examination is going to be there. And secondly, if the examination doesn't happen. So if you prepare for both the things, then it becomes little bit easier, and you feel like, okay, my efforts are fully there, though the outcome is not in my hand. My efforts are fully there. That is very important. And once you concentrate on efforts, that is better. But if you concentrate whether the examination will be there or not, then you will not be able to concentrate on your efforts of the studies. You have to say that it is not in my control. Secondly, it's good, really. Some other aspect we will see. What is the opportunity in this? We will see now. The opportunity is that, is there really a need of a classroom teacher? Means there is little bit of need, and that can be through all video conferences. Most important are the skills which you will be able to get time now to practice. So that is important. Classroom teaching, I think today, every information is there on the computer or the net, internet. So the information is there. You can get in a better way. Secondly, very good teachers, classes you will be able to attend now. Because now it's an open forum. It's not limited to your school also or college. It is limited to world now. It is going into the world now. So this is the opportunity you can pick up. So concentrate on skills, concentrate on what are the factors within your control. That is very important. जिसे टालना नामुमकिन हो, जिसे टालना नामुमकिन हो, मुझे अभी याद नहीं आ रहा, टालना नामुमकिन हो, ठीक है मैं बाद में बताऊंगा, but that is what is the crux of that project. And then think of the skills, whatever skills you want to, that is there.
That's so true, sir. Yes, that's so true. The next question is from Shivani. Shivani, if you can hear us, please ask your question. She has an interesting question about Ayurvedic. So Shivani, if you can hear us, please ask the question.
Medical thing is very good.
Yes.
Yes, Shivani.
Hello, sir. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes,
we can.
Yes, Shivani, yeah.
Sir, my question is related to something like you said, to resolve the challenge of uncertainty, right? That you said in the starting. So, sir, my question is that during this lockdown or this all corona scenario, the thing which is came out is the modern medical science has not proved us so much what we can say that so much so careable. The medical science has not proved us the care. It has not given us the care. But what I personally feel that if we go into the traditional medical science or the Ayurveda or the books which are written in 12th centuries or 13th centuries, like Charak Samhita and Shushak Samhita and all, so we can find out the what we can say the care and also the cure for this corona treatment, for this corona scenario. So, sir, my question is, can the Indian government invade something research and development about these all things?
Yes. I got your question.
For traditional modern science.
Traditional. It's very important to understand that we have a good tradition of a very long, 5,000 years old. And it's a good thing that this can be applied today. But it needs a research. That is very important.
Yes.
And today government, not only government, I also personally keenly interested in developing Ayurveda, Ayush, everything, Nisiddha. Because there is no much research on this product. We are not able to tell the people that this is very important and
Yes,
this is
exactly.
in today's condition. But what happens, there is a challenge. That any company will come and will say it has been given in this and so it will cure corona. Any company. And those who are able to market well, they will say that this cures the corona, people will purchase them and they will make money, and then we do not know, because out of so many people, only few get affected, and out of that also the death rate is very less in India especially. 2.7 or something is the death rate in corona patients.
Yes, sir.
And so in general public it's totally very, very less. So what happens, we have to follow certain rules and regulations. Sometimes I think in our hospital, one fellow who was 10th pass, he came. He said that I am driving a vehicle since he was 25 years old. I am driving a vehicle since last 4-5 years in my village, and I used to bring from village to the city. So I have a good experience also, and I can drive very nicely the vehicle. I tested his driving, and he was very excellent in driving. But then, of course, the manager asked afterwards. I told the manager that he drives very nicely. You can take him if it is possible. He asked where you have a driving license. He said, I don't have a driving license. So now should I join him as a driver? No.
Yes,
Otherwise it creates a problem.
Yes,
Similarly, we need both the things, driving license as well as driving skills. So It's not that only one thing is there. So we need a proper validated, scientifically validated, approved studies which will say that this cures the corona, or this improves the status, or this improve be made publicly available. When the government said no, what is the gap? Gap is we have certain which is things which are there already in Sanhita. Shushruti, he was the first person to do cataract surgery that time, and he was to do it so nicely. So I know much about him and how he is to fumigate the operation theatres also. But today we stop at that position. That is also a challenge. We cannot say that we should follow him today because we have to go ahead. What was he 5,000 years back? We have to progress afterwards. That has not happened for many years, many centuries, which has happened in other countries. So we have to have a validated scientific study, and government is doing many things. Ayush Mantralaya is going. They have done studies in our government medical college, and I am part of it. I tried to boost another Ayurvedic doctor also, but I tell you, validation is the most scientific validation is most important.
That's a very detailed answer, sir. Since we are running short of time, we would just take one last question. I know many like you guys are very interested in asking. We'll take one last question, which is really important at this context, and that is you can hear, you can ask your question.
Good evening. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Yes,
Respected sir, I would like to ask you that due to this pandemic of COVID-19, we are lacking the interaction with the community, which is creating a mental illness among the people, especially who stay alone. And it is also leading to depression in many people due to lack of job opportunities. So how we are going to overcome this situation?
yes, it's a very important thing because though they do not suffer from corona, they are suffering from a disease which will reduce their output to a great extent, and they will be burdened to all the country means others. And not only that, they will be disturbing too because it will be suicide or it will be homicide. Means the others also they may go and inflict others. So that is a problem, definitely a big challenge, and that's why I told you that it's a emotional management skill which is needed and which we have to transfer, and we have to do counseling for that this is a uncertainty period. This is a period which will go away definitely, and a time will come when we will be near normal, which will be little bit different, but we will be able to perform our activities. So how can we, they also can contribute to the society of a single person, as you have said. They can have a video sharing with other relatives, with other youngsters, and they can have a counseling with the psychologist, not necessarily disease, it's not a disease, psychologist, that how can he overcome the challenge. Even youngsters can take up this as a challenge because once you start doing counseling, of course you should have knowledge and skill about it, and then do counseling of all these people. But tell them that this is a period which will go away definitely. So there is a hope tomorrow will be far better, and always it is always there. Sometimes this may not be as you like. So if you have that attitude that okay, these days will be gone, so ये भी समय जाएगा, तो वैसा हम कह सकते हैं.